What's everyone? It's Matt Mrzik, and I got a couple review videos, not really reviews, a couple things I just got. First set of stuff is going to be from Jesse Garcia over GarageKits.us. So he was running a Labor Day sale last weekend, 10% off your entire order. So went ahead and got some new paints. He just started these sets just a little while ago. Cool gray set and or cool black and white and a warm black and white set. And I think you can tell the difference. Obviously this has more of a blue tint and this has more of a warm tint. So I'm looking forward to trying these out. Susan Atte's done a few paint ups with these already and they look really amazing. So I'm excited to give these a shot on something, maybe a Batman. Maybe I'll do like a black and white Batman or something. But you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors in a set. I don't remember what I paid for the set. It wasn't too bad. And all the colors are different with the exception of the semi-transparent pure white. Each set comes with that. So these are all semi-transparent colors, so they're designed to be used in thin layers and kind of build on top of each other, you know, gradations and stuff like that. So super excited to try those out on something eventually. And if you haven't tried Jesse's paints, I highly recommend them. Someone just posted a little while ago they're having trouble with their airbrush spraying at a certain PSI, like 20 PSI. I spray just about everything at 20 PSI. And Jesse's paints spray perfectly at that with any size needle that I've used, like a 0.3, 0.5. I don't even know if I have anything smaller than a 0.3. I don't think I do, but they all work perfectly for that. So I got those, and then the next thing I got are a couple kits, and I'll show the first one to you in just a second. Okay, so the first kit I'm going to show you is part of the Jesse's Denizens of Xot series, and this is the Lion. This is an impressive piece. So if you go to Wonderfest, he had the painted sample there this past year. The year before that, he had the raw print from Onage, and the print was amazing. It was perfect. If you don't know who Onage is, they're like one of the leaders in 3D printing and toys and garage kits and stuff like that. So this is an impressive piece. He's big. Jim's paint up on it was freaking phenomenal as usual. So we'll start from the bottom. So you get a simple base, rock base, which is nicely done. It was packed very well. My only crit, and it's not really a crit, is that I like the boxes with the picture on it, Jesse. And I'm not complaining because you know, it's 10% off. Is a good price for this kit. This kit's a good price without the 10% off because it's a hunk of resin. I want to say it's like $295, I think it is. I'll put a link down below, but it's under 300 bucks. Normally, which is a great price for this kit, and then you get 10% off. I mean, you can't beat it. I was going to get it at Wonderfest this past year, but I was really trying to restrain myself on what I bought, so yeah, I didn't get it at Wonderfest, but I should have. So anyway, there's a base, simple rock base. Parts breakdown's pretty simple, not many pieces, but it's crazy detail. There's a ton of detail in this stuff, so let's work from the bottom up. Got the base. And here's one of the feet. This is his right foot with the claws. I don't know the sculptor's name. Maybe I'll ask Jesse before I post this video, but the sculpt is amazing. As usual, the quality is phenomenal. Jesse's caster does a phenomenal job. There's your typical mold line you got to take care of. And since there is a lot of detail, it'll take a little time to go through there and just clean it up through like this strapping around the foot and you know, the fur and stuff. But you know, there's not a step, it's just a little bit of mold line, so really nicely done. I love the claws, nice and sharp, great muscle definition. The fur looks great, I like it. And then we have the same thing on this side, just more bent. His left foot, and again, we got the mold line that you have to go through and clean up through you know, the wrapping on his feet and stuff, but just really nice big keys, you know, minimal pinning. And the resin he's using seems it's very high quality. It sands really easily, it drills really easily, and it doesn't weigh a ton. So I'm not sure what kind of resin this is, but it's really high quality. I like working with it. I haven't painted any Jesse's kits yet, but I have worked with this resin before on other kits, and I really like it. It's easy to work with. So those are the feet, and now we'll get to his waist, which is crazy. He has like this huge like metal belt with leather strapping. I love the stitching detail on it. Just it's insane how much detail is on here. Really, really cool. And Jim's paint up that he did was it's insane. I don't know how many hours he spent on it, but it's crazy, crazy good. So just a ton of detail. You know,
nuts just painting all this stuff. So this is a painter's dream, or it could be a painter's nightmare. I don't know, it depends how you look at it. In the end, it's a dream because it looks beautiful. So there's his waist, and then up to the biggest part of the kit, which is his upper torso. And we have this beautiful mane that surrounds his face, and I like how they did the faces comes out so you can paint that separately. And I'll get to that in a second. I love the armor on his shoulders and his arms. Again, the sculpt is really, really nice. Sharp, crisp casting. The mold line on this piece is even less than on the legs. Unfortunately, you do have to go through and clean it up through the fur. But other than that, it should be relatively simple because these armors and stuff are flat, so that should be relatively easy to clean. But yeah, you know, when you have this much detail, cleaning a mold line could take some time. Even though it's minimal, it's just how it is. I do have a few pieces of strand where it looks like there was a bubble trapped in the casting and the tips broke off. It's at the end of the world. A little few pieces of resin slag here and there. I'll probably just go in and either fill those or just shave them to tips. Not the end of the world, but looking good. And then we have the arms. Again, great muscle definition. I love the veins coming through the fur. That's kind of cool. Gives a little more human aspect to it. Big, strong claws that are gripping his swords. I love the hearts, you know, because the lion doesn't have a heart. It's a great emblem on the gauntlet there. Nice throwback to the Wizard of Oz. So that looks awesome there. And I think it's the same on this one. Oh, no hearts on this one. Just the gauntlet. Metal leather strapping. Again, I love all the stitching detail. Mold line on here will be a little tricky to clean up again, just because you're going through all the detail. It's not a knock on the kit. It is what it is. So yeah, just so if you get this, you kind of expect. This one doesn't look to have. There's a mold line on it. I'm not really seeing it. It's there. It's actually, this one has like hardly any mold line on it. The face, yeah, really cool. Great expression in the face, and it's casted in two pieces, so you can paint in the mouth. On the inside is it should be easier. And I believe there's a tutorial up on the GarageKits.us from Jim on painting this. So there's a little bit of putty work on this kit, but kits need putty work no matter what. You can almost get away without puttying the face, but basically you can paint the mouth, put this together, put a little bit of putty there, and then paint the outside, and then it can just slot right into the head. And then we have the tail, beautifully done. Again, great sculpt, minimal cleanup on that piece. We got this little beret coming down from the front, from his mane. Nicely done. And then we have his two swords. And as with any flat piece of resin, you'll need a little bit of straightening, nothing major. A little hot water or hair dryer, and those will straighten out in 2 seconds. Jim went through on his paint up, and he replaced, I think, almost all the resin crystals with real crystals, and it looks amazing. That's a lot of extra work, but it looks really nice. So you got the two knives, and then you have the bottom, the hilts of the knives. So I can actually fit this whole thing together except for one part. So I can show you how it goes together. For the most part, it fits just about damn near perfect. There will be a little work to tweak things to get to fit. And the main part is when he's on the bed. Excuse me, standing. So that leg in there. So like this will just need a little bit of putty work in there to get that to be a nice solid fit. It wants to rock around a little bit. And right here. And I think it's in the tutorial too that you have to, you probably have to do a little putty work maybe on the bottom of the foot here a little bit. It doesn't want to, when you put that flat and this other part flat, it wants to kick up on its toes a little bit. So it actually isn't too bad because he would be up on his toes a little bit. So that's like the only fitting issue that I found right there, and it's really not that big of a deal. So not really much to complain about. His right arm will key in, if keys in perfectly, and actually locks in place right now because it's such a good fit. He can just goes right in, just like that.
And he's a big guy. Look at your measurement. Should get on a turntable for you, that's alright. You can still see what's going on. There's that. I can't put the other arm on just because of the way it keys, but it comes in like this. Like that. And we have his face. Like I said, it's 2 pieces, but it fits right in. And maybe a little bit of putty work around the face, not much. Probably wouldn't hurt to put a little bead of A's or something around there just so it's not so obvious that it was casted that way. But not that big of a deal. And then his little braid comes in there. And then his tail. Let's see. I guess you can put his tail going that way. So yeah. Cool piece. And then we got his knives that plug in. Like that. And this one comes over here, obviously. Like that. So he means business. This guy's pissed off. Let me see. I had a tape measure out somewhere. There it is. 1 second. Let's see. He is to the top of his head. He is right at 15.5 inches. At the tallest point, which is the top of this sword, he's right at 19.5. So you'll need some height to display him, considering the height of the sword in his right hand. But a beautiful piece. Yeah, just really cool. Jesse does great work, puts out a great product. Between him and Mark Havocan, anyone who's looking for original kind of designs and sculpts and stuff, man, you have plenty to choose from. I just wish Mark would produce more of his kits. So yeah, cool piece. Once he gets all pinned in there, he'll be good. But yeah, I think the only real putty work really is down here by this foot, maybe to get that to sit down a little bit, or maybe just working on the key in here a little bit and in here a little bit will get them to sit flat. But once he's on there, he'll be solid. So yeah, oops, there goes his tail. Alright, so that's the first kit, and I'm just going to keep this video going since it's all from Jesse, and I'll get the second one ready. So that's the lion, and I'll have the next one here in a second. Alright, next kit is, again, Denizens of Xot. This is Glinda, and to be honest, this is my least favorite out of the series, and there's only one thing that bugs me, and it has to do with the sculpt, which is surprising because it's from Roberto, who is an amazing female sculptor. But it's a cool piece. I like the scene. It's a nice scene. But there's one thing that bugs me about it, and I was contemplating getting it or not. But I decided to get it since it was on sale. So we'll start from the bottom going up again, because cool base, tile base with these leaves on it. Again, nice quality. Got a staircase that comes up here. This needs a little sanding flat down here to get to made up correctly. This doesn't want to sit quite right yet. And this is a tricky one because you have these female kits with skirts on, but you have to paint the legs. You have to paint the legs first, and then you have to paint the inside of the skirts. Put the skirt on. It's tricky to do because you have to do painting and filling and sanding in between painting steps, which is always troublesome because it's really easy to screw up previous paint work. So that's just the nature of the beast. But looking at the kit itself, again, Jesse, like I said, Jesse does really nice, produces a great product. I love the sculpt on the body. Roberto does an incredible job. Love all the detail in her corset. I'm assuming it's a corset, looks like it, with all the lace and all the tying in the back, and a leather belt, and then the skirt. And right now she will sit there. I may heat this up a little bit because I have to kind of spread her feet apart quite a bit to get her to fit in there, and I'm afraid that could cause problems. So maybe get in there and heat the feet up, the legs up a little bit, so they kind of meld to the right shape. Then this way her skirt goes on is like this, and this kind of will stay on. Let me get a turntable. That. So the front skirt, that actually this fits actually really well, surprisingly. Just, you know, you gotta do your putty work and stuff after you've painted the legs. And then this comes in here, and it's not gonna stand right now, but you know. So you gotta paint, fill that seam, paint, and then I don't know if you'll see the seam on the inside. Probably not. It'll probably be okay. I think they'll stay on. I like her. I like her pose, her body posture. Got a lot of little tiny pieces in here. Some clear rods for her, like to hold the book and stuff. Oh, wait a second. So this, does this cover up? That may cover up the seam. I'll have to look at the photos. That may. Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to look. That may go around her waist. It looks like it should go around her waist. Maybe not. I don't know. I haven't looked at the photo. It looks like it should go around her waist somewhere. And I don't have a photo in front of me. So anyway, I think those go on her dress. And then here are her arms. Great sculpt by Roberto. Minimal cleanup again. You know, just your little mold on you gotta deal with. And they always put in a piece of jewelry or clothing to hide a seam, which is handy. Let's see if it'll fit in there. I'm not sure if it will. Clothes fell off. So I'll just put it in like that. And then here's her other hand. Again, nicely done. And that fits in there pretty good. And this is the one part of the sculpt that bugs me, and that surprisingly, I'm not a real fan of her face sculpt. There's something about it. It's a little masculine to me, I think, which is nothing wrong with that, but if I would have had to guess, I would have guessed that this was sculpted by Roberto. That's the only thing that it's like this. That's the only thing that bugs me is the face, and that's just my personal preference. So take it as you will. That's my opinion. That's the only not that I don't like it. It just is the one thing that didn't make me go, oh, I got to get that kind of thing. But other than that, I like everything else about it. So her head goes there, obviously, and she's holding her spell book. And Jim did a really cool thing. He went and actually made paper pages for his paint up and printed them and put them on the pages. It looked really amazing. And these fit in there very nicely. So she's got this book that she's holding like this, her spell book. Lots of tiny little pieces in here. Strands of hair. Excuse me. Oh, these are actually heels to her shoes are in here too. I didn't even notice that earlier. So we got the heels to her shoes right here. Never seen that before. Cast like that before. Interesting. And she's got a pouch, which I assume goes on the outside of her dress somewhere. I don't know. Let's see if this goes there. Maybe it hangs down here. I bet that's where it goes. And then all the little strands of hair that come off her head. And again, I have to look at a picture to see where all these go, because I'm not sure, to be honest. There's a bunch of them. And then the last parts, which I haven't shown, are the handrails, which just kind of sit in like this. I guess they just get surface mounted to the staircase, like that, I think. Yeah. So like that. So she's at 1/6 scale, and at 1/6 scale, she's a good size. Let's see. Can't put her head on because it doesn't want to key in there exactly, but so with her head on, she's right at about 13.5 inches, I'd say, 13 3/4. Yeah, great. Another great kit by Jesse. I said the only thing that really bugs me is the face sculpt for some reason. I don't know what it is, but decided to go in and get her anyway since he was running a sale. And yeah, nice piece. A few bubbles in the hair got to take care of. little more cleanup on this piece than the Lion kit, but that's not a big deal. But another cool piece from Jesse. So that's my mail call from GarageKits.us from his sale last weekend. So if you haven't checked it out, go to the link down below. Send Jesse a message on Facebook. He's super responsive. One of the best producers out there as far as product wise, value for what you pay, and customer service. He's one of the top dogs. So highly recommend him. Highly recommend his paints. Yeah, you won't be disappointed with anything you get from him. So that's it for this one. As always, this is Matt Rosick. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time. Bye.